What's up, guys? What's up, guys? This is my Sunday market breakdown, and let's just going through some pairs I have on watch for the week. So it'll be a very short video. Don't want to make a long video. But first on the top six is AUD CAD, right? AUD CAD, we can see we've been correcting, moving sideways. We also have a gap towards a value area. Currently sitting at the inflection point where we see the market just moving sideways, right? So there's two ways I would go about this, right? I want to see if the market then forms a flag above all this area for structure flip, and I'm willing to take this into this high over there. I'm also aware of that the market can then push back inside the structure, form a continuation, and still sell towards the downside. If you look at this, we also have this previously with this continuation pattern where the market shot up. We can say this is a gap towards this, equal lows, but if the market sells down flag, I would manage it into areas like this and also areas like this. So for longer term buys, I would say really this, if we can get something like this and then the market goes, wouldn't be a healthy bull run towards the upside. So AUD CAD, I am neutral, just waiting to see what the market does. My next pair is CAD Swiss franc, right? So CAD Swiss franc, we can see where the market we had this beautiful sell. So I'm just waiting to see if the market then can give us somewhat of a continuation to sell towards the downside, or if we then see that the market tapping into this area, pushing up, clearing this high, then giving us a bullish continuation, a bullish structure, which that I can take towards the upside, right? So I'm also neutral on this one. Euro USD also neutral. You can see from a daily perspective, we've been sitting at this area of value. Gap got filled with the gap towards this, gap got filled. Now the market is sitting here at this area, right? So either we're going to get somewhat of a continuation towards the downside into areas like this, or the opposite, right? So with the sales, right, I would then see the market that takes this area, slight break, push back in, give us somewhat of a continuation pattern, managing into this areas, and maybe a longer term where we see this as a continuation pattern, or even get the third touch, three touch continuation, and with this acts as a gap towards the 2 point where the market then sells off, something like this. Also willing to take a risk entry about that, but we have to see how the market further develops to see an entry. But I have understanding. Also this push up, we can see somewhat of a continuation pattern, retesting the back end of this for structural flip into this area over here. So that is my euro dollar. Euro GBP, we can see from a daily perspective, right? We broke out of this lows impulsively, right? So we are trading underneath it. So all I'm really waiting for is for a continuation pattern, right? So if we get something like this, a three touch, now this can be also a very good sign if we get something like this, whereby the risk entry would still make total sense, but everything depends on how big the size of this continuation is. We can get something like this into this low over there. So even the insurance entry, it's just really what the market does next. The next play is GBP NZD. Now GBP NZD, I'm neutral. Yes, you can see we have this area over there, one touch, two touch, looking for the third touch. Now we can see this is expanding, right? Expanding pattern towards this area value, right? Now this expanding can either play as a reversal or as a continuation, right? So we can see from here, right? The market tapped this inflection point, we have this trend line over there, we have this value area over there, right? So either we're gonna get somewhat of a touch over there, retesting respecting this area, whereby maybe we can get in for a risk entry over there, maybe like 30 between 30 and 50, 40 pip stop loss. It's all just about how this is just the idea of how we can enter the market or type of entries we can get. If not, I would then suggest someone would then do something like this, wait for the insurance entry and then into that area. What I can also expect is So the market breaks this area and we get a continuation pattern underneath us. So something like that, and then I believe we can also take some sales if the market then prints that kind of price action. This my last pair, my top 6 is gold, right? So obviously gold, we know from a daily perspective, we want this market to really tap into this low for more that longer term plays coming in from gold, right? But we can also see the market sitting at this. It's almost like a double bottom within a double bottom. We can also see this double bottom over there. So we can see the market tapping into this, push down, and really giving us that insurance entry on gold, whereby we can get to see sales towards the downside. Now this acts as a 1, 2, 3, maybe a reversal pattern. Now we see the push up and maybe that longer term bullish run we are anticipating, right? So with that being said, also there's also the scenario of the market then taking this area, giving us a continuation pattern towards the upside and into areas like this. Maybe we can get another last push towards the downside where the market then can continue going higher, but we can see this bullish run also from these areas. From my wildcards, right? AUD CHF, right? Very plain and simple. We saw this area, build up volume, market breaking out of this. Now this can either play something like this, where we see buys into this area. Then we want to see how the market reacts towards this. Are we going to get a push down, flag, continue going lower? Very possible. We can also expect in the market maybe to do something like this, whereby we tap into this area for a risk entry. I would think this would also be very cool into this low, maybe for management. And if the market then further pushes towards the downside into that low over there, right? We can also get like a 2 touch push down, insurance entry or the risk entry into this. There's also a chance, like I said, the market then something like this for a structure flip and forming a continuation pattern above all this volume set here, and then into areas like this more for the longs, because then we can see this market, if a long step, we have this W formation or happening over there, which is a reversal towards the upside. So yeah, this is my first play on my wildcards. GBP USD also. GBP USD, we can see from a daily perspective, we are sitting at this lows over there, but we can also see this area really towards the downside. Now with GBP USD, are we going to get some kind of continuation pattern towards the upside into areas like this, or even longer term into areas like that? So there is also the chance of this market then pushing back in, continuation pattern, bear flag into areas like this, or then into this long for more longer term plate, whereby we have that impulse correction continuation happening over there. So GBP USD, the next pair is NZD CAD, right? NZD CAD from a daily perspective, we can clearly see then the market really tapping into this. We can also see this internal market structure, whereby we can see the market is still forming high highs, high lows, high highs. This is with equal lows, but it's still showing the bullish momentum, right? So on the H4, I just want to see how the market then further develops into a flag. Whereby if you can get a bull flag, this market we can buy into areas like this for longs, or even more longer term into areas like this. So NZD CAD very clean, just have to wait for the market to show its hand, and then we enter accordingly or act according to the market, right? We also have USD CAD. So USD CAD, if you look at from a daily perspective, like I said, explaining either acts as a reversal or continuation. So we can see we have this 1-2 touch leading up to this hook point over there. Sorry guys, into this hook point over there. So is that the last push towards the upside, or this market then just forms another flare to continue going high into areas like this? because we can see this, we had this rally over there. So is the market then maybe pausing to then build a volume up again to go towards the upside, right? So that's also in the cards. Also, this thing, everything depends on what the DXY, what the DXY does next. We can maybe get something like this. Then we have that 1, 2, 3 touch, push back in. That 15-minute flag or H1 flag, I would take that into this side over there. There is also the chance of this being a failed continuation, a failed bullish structure. And we break down, form a flag, and then we can see some seals or some deeper corrective structures over there. And my last pair is on my wildcards is SPX 500. You can see all-time highs. You see there's 1, 2, 3 leading up into that. This can act as a middle section where we have the impulse correction continuation. So we can clearly see the market also breaking out of this lows. We have that 2 touch where the market goes up. So on the H1, just looking to see how the market then forms a bullish structure, or even if the market then pushes up above this, form of a retest, retesting the back end of this high, and then taking it into this. So yes guys, that's my top, my watch list for the week. Plain and simple. Key for this week is let the market come to you. No need to force the market or be in a rush of the market. Let the market come to you. So blessed week for you guys, and wishing you a profitable week, and see you guys for the next video.